Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Huntsville Podcast, the show that's all about the people, places, and the stories that make this city an amazing place. I'm your host, Carl Thomas, your favorite realtor, singer-songwriter, and all-around Huntsville cheerleader. Each week, we'll be shining a light on the community heroes who make this city tick, having some fun along the way, and sharing a few real estate tips when you least expect it. So whether you've lived in Huntsville your whole life, or you're just thinking about calling Huntsville your new home, you're in the right place. Let's get started. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again for the Big Huntsville Podcast, where we choose really big personalities, big people who are doing big things here in Huntsville and around our area. Today, we have someone really special with us who is a musician, singer-songwriter. He is a really big name around here, but we know his name will continue to grow, so we're grabbing him while we can. His name is Preston Watts. Preston, thank you so much for being with us, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So just jumping right into who you are and what you do for those who don't know you. I said you're a singer-songwriter. Like what are you, do you gig around the Huntsville area? Like where are you out there doing stuff?
Honestly, wherever people will have me come play. I've been gigging around Huntsville for close to 10 years, and I'm trying to branch out from here as well. I play in Florence and Nashville, so I'm trying to get down into Florida. But honestly, I just play wherever people will have me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a big part of what you do when you're out doing music, because I used to follow you a lot back when I was running a website that had like a calendar of events in Huntsville, is you do a lot of songwriting, and you like to present those songs to the audiences at these places. So
I do.
Tell me a little bit about the songwriting. Like what do you usually write about? What's your style? All that kind of stuff that these folks may not know.
Okay. Well, I write, usually it's personal experience based. I'm trying to branch out from that because there's only so much you can write about yourself, so I'm trying to get more into storytelling with the recent stuff I've been writing, but I wrote and recorded my first record. Well, I wrote the record from like 2017 to 2019, and was recording it that whole time in Sheffield at the Nutt House with Jimmy Nutt, who's an incredible engineer.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Cool place too.
Yeah, he's very nice. I got to work under him as an intern my senior year of college, and then we, became peers. But so released my first record in 2020, kind of right when the world went crazy. So
great timing.
Yeah. It was supposed to come out in March. No, I'm sorry. It was supposed to come out in May of 2020, I think.
Okay.
And, the pandemic happened in March. So I was kind of hesitant on what to do. And then eventually I realized that this was going to be around for a while. So I didn't release it until October of 2020.
Okay. How'd that go?
Not as well as I had planned, but
it was a hard time. Yeah,
it was a weird time. Hindsight's always 2020, but looking back, I probably would have had a more like a larger presence online. Like
sure.
A lot of people during that time, especially in your world as well, the podcasting, podcasts blew up, TikTok blew up, a lot of people blew up,
Yeah.
Everyone was home, just on the internet. So, hindsight's always 2020. I probably would have shifted to a more online thing, but I had everything planned out to have a quote unquote tour, which is
sure
just put together by me, just a little loop that I hoped to profit off of. And, if that were successful, I'd make the loop a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to do now. So
Okay. All right. Cool. So when you write these songs, where are you drawing your inspiration? You said your personal life, and then you're starting to get into storytelling. So where are you pulling those stories from?
well, I mean, it's cliche to even name drop, but Bob Dylan is the ultimate storyteller. So lyrically, I aspire to be like that. I mean, that is a very high uh, that's just a very high goal to reach. But musically, I get inspiration from everywhere. I love all kinds of music.
Yeah.
And I kind of obsess on, I mean, I go through my phases of obsession on whether it be one song or one artist or one type of music. Um, and I basically anything I play out, um, like as part of my set, like if it's a cover set, at some point in my life, I was obsessed with whatever song I was playing. And it just kind of went into my set. So like, it's very rare that I sit down and go, I need to learn this song or that song. It just kind of like, I become obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And
No, I feel that. I feel that.
then
Yeah.
I'm over it. And then I'm over
Yeah.
it on to the next. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, inspiration wise, I try to learn as many instruments as I can, and that helps with the writing process. Writing on a piano is different from writing on a guitar, you know?
Sure.
And so the more I learn multiple instruments, the more I kind of get a better understanding of music in general, just the notes. You know, every song you've ever heard is 12 notes in
Yeah.
a different order, you know?
Right.
So it's just in a different rhythm, different order, different octave, all of that. And everything can translate from the guitar to the piano to whatever. So
What is that? A cello back there? You got a cello?
I'm renting a cello.
How
Yeah. I
many
love
songs have you written on the cello so far?
zero. I suck at the cello. I really love, I'm like, well, I've always been obsessed with strings, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in music, whether it be in the background of songs or like the showcase of a song. I love strings. I've spent a ridiculous amount of money on like string VSTs, which are like virtual strings that I
yeah.
can put into my music.
Right.
Um, and I'm never like, there's some great stuff out there. Obviously, it's getting better and better, but it's just not, it's not a string section. So
Sure.
I have rented a cello. I have a violin, and I've been very painstakingly recording violin and cello parts, like kind of one bar at a time, like one
Yeah.
at a time, just to have it in my music. But I'm not good enough to like play from start to finish. So I
So
just
I'm
kind of,
just trying to figure out where I'd rent a cello. Like I'm thinking about those heavy equipment places that have
well,
like dump trucks and stuff out front. Do you just rent the cello in the back? Or
yeah. No, so there's a place called the Violin Shop
yeah.
down um down South Parkway. That's
Shameless plug. We
yeah,
got you, buddy.
yeah. And I went there. You can also go to the Fret Shop.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, that's when I first rented a cello, and I rented from the Fret Shop.
I had
And
no idea they did rentals. That's so cool.
yeah, it's really cool. I was just I Googled it. I've been going to the Fret Shop my whole life, and I didn't know either. And I was Googling where to rent a cello, and the Fret Shop popped up, and I was like, no way.
Wow.
Just went
Yeah,
over there.
the Fret Shop's a really great place. I was gigging with a guitar that I love that I bought from Alan Little that he used on an album with uh, one of the Taylor Hicks, maybe the guy that won American Idol one year. Anyways,
Right.
he had played acoustic on that album and got ready to sell the guitar. And I said, whatever you want for it, I'll pay for it. And so I ended up with this guitar. I was leaving a gig, going down a flight of stairs, and missed a step. And I had the guitar in bag on my back and fell down the flight of stairs with that guitar, just rolled all over it and broke the faceplate of it. And so I took it to the fret shop, and they actually handled Wood Taylor getting everything fixed. And
Yes.
man, they were great. They were fantastic.
They were great with everything.
Yeah. Yeah. They really cool music supporters too. They're really big into just supporting us musicians as we try to do this thing out here.
Yes. In fact, Alan Little's CD is sitting up there on their counter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sell your stuff. They'll sell your instruments.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So just as a musician that's out there, trying to win gigs and get this following in Huntsville. One thing that I've learned over the last 10 years or so working around the music stuff in Huntsville is that, man, when you have an engineer city full of smart people who have these smart kids and they come up using that intelligence to do music, it's incredible what gets pumped out of this place. Like you're a good example of that. Like you've got a very unique sound. You've got a unique writing style. I think one of my disappointments in just getting involved in all the music is that we're not more on the map for music here.
Yeah. And Huntsville is trying,
Yes. Yeah. Well, and the city opened a music office a few years back. They actually grabbed the website that we were using for that music calendar I mentioned earlier to you. And so huntsvillemusic.com, if you type that in, that takes you to the music website for the city. And they're really trying to push folks like you and help you get some notoriety. And that I do think that helps because we're really truly a hub for Nashville. Atlanta is really close by. Birmingham is close by. As people are making these rounds, now that we have like the amphitheater and things like that, I think we're grabbing more and more mid-range artists that are coming up. So there's opportunity here. Has it been hard for you to get more notice from this spot on the map?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up here, so I do have a built-in, I don't even know if you can call it a fan base because they've known me my whole life.
Oh, yeah. No, you got a huge following. A lot of young people, man. How old are you, by the way?
33.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like there's like that college age group kind of chasing you.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, but yeah, it's tough in general to get a, well, I mean, it's tough to sustain a following. What I've noticed is the more you play around here, the less people come to see you, which is natural. That's just, and when I first moved back here from college, it didn't take much for me to fill a small room, like a small, if I did very little promotion on social media, people would usually show up. But the more that, every week I'm somewhere, the mindset becomes, well, I'll catch him some other time. Or, so it is possible to become, I guess, too accessible or too oversaturating in this area, and I guess that is everywhere as well.
Well, I think you also put out pretty quality stuff. So I think the folks who are out there who are pushing too much, a lot of times they just don't have a lot to back up how much they're trying to be present in our faces on social media. But I do appreciate your social media just because it seems like you're actually doing something. A lot of talented musicians here, they just don't have that side of their personality where they want to either make it public or they just want to get on and post anything about what they have going on, and you just have to go find them. So
I'm guilty of that as well, though. I am. It has been really since September. I decided September of last year that I am going to it is not in my nature to post about me constantly. I get that. Very uncomfortable. But I realize now that it's something you just have to do it. So,
well, for those of us like me, I'm not gigging right now. I'm not doing a lot of music. I'm singing at a church on Sundays. I really appreciate when I see someone like you get in front of just a camera and sing. I appreciate that because I'm not able to get out there and see everybody play. And I
Right.
miss a lot of the live stuff that's been happening. I've missed it. What's funny is I was gigging pretty consistently until 2020 when the bar shut down. And it's like when they opened back up 4 or 5 months later, whenever that was, it was like they all had tighter budgets. They all had different people booking the music. Yes. And it's like you just lose all the connections in a fell swoop. But
that is so when a venue or a restaurant or a bar or whatever finds a new booker,
yeah,
you're basically fired.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't know who you are. So and you don't know that they've hired a new booker. So when they stop calling, all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I guess that's over. But a lot of times you realize, yeah, they just got new management or they've, so you have to constantly keep, putting yourself up.
There's a gentleman named Rick Parker Diefenbach. He created the website HuntsvilleOriginalMusic.com. And what he did there was he placed like the open mic schedule in Huntsville because there wasn't really a place where they were all listed. And he did that because he understands that, number one, if you're a songwriter, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to just get in front of a crowd and do your songs. Right. A lot of times people want, their style of music played or covers, which is fine. I enjoy doing covers myself. But he created that so that if you're either new to the scene and you want to get out there and play live, or if you have songs that you need to, run by a group of people, it's an easy way to do it. So it's just hard to get your foot in the door, and do what you're doing. So
it is. And I was very lucky that do you know Anthony Sharp?
Yes, sir.
Of Toy Shop.
Yes.
And his brother Andrew.
Yeah.
Anthony taught me guitar at the fret shop, actually.
Wow.
And I was obsessed with the guitar. So I excelled as his student, and
yes,
he noticed that. And he, when I was at a young age, he got me up with Toy Shop to play.
That's cool.
He introduced me to people. So I was lucky that I had someone like that who kind of, especially at the time, Toy Shop they were touring.
Yeah.
And so he really helped me out, and we're great friends even today.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's tough to work your way in,
Well, and just paying it forward like he did for you, right. Like I see people all the time and I go, man, they're really talented, but they don't seem to be doing much. I'll reach out to them a lot of times to say, hey, you're really, really good. If I got a connection that you can use, I'd love to hand it to you, those kind of things.
Yes, that's great.
So what do you have coming next? Like what's in the book for you? I guess the rest of this year. We're only in March.
So I'm writing a lot.
Good.
And it's been 5 years now, or well, I guess a little over 4 years since I released something. So
sure.
My first objective is whether or not I have a full record ready or not, I'm going to release some music, whether
awesome.
It be a single or an EP or whatever. And I'm recording it here. And then I'll get it mixed by Jimmy, if he'll do it, in Muscle Shoals, and hopefully that is coming fairly soon.
That's awesome.
Second, I've put together a band, and I just know we're all going to be ready by August, because I've been presented the opportunity to play at the Princess Theater with a full band.
Wow. Okay. That's big. That's a big venue. That's cool.
It is. Yeah. And if I plan to sell tickets, I need to start promoting right now.
Have you ever played there before?
No.
Okay. Yeah. That's like an iconic place around here. That's in Decatur, in a little downtown area. It's fantastic. Such a cool place to catch a really, really, really great sound, great room to listen to it in. Seatings is great. It's a wonderful place.
It is a wonderful place. I've been there as a audience member, and it's a beautiful theater, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's big too. I mean, they do really get, the lady that I've dealt with there has been wonderful at promotions and stuff. So I took my mom there, who is handicapped. And so she bent over backwards to make sure that we had a perfect seating situation and all that kind of, so, you know, it's just a really great place to catch music. Not a bad seat in the house.
Oh, it is. It's wonderful. And I don't know, I don't know when you dealt with them, but Jen DiCarlo is now the head of it, and she was my former boss.
Wow,
that's the connection. So
that's so cool. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So she's awesome. She worked with me at Merrimack Hall, which is another nonprofit. So she's very experienced in all of that, and she is helping.
So do you have any idea of a date range on when this concert will be?
August 16th.
Oh, wow. Okay. August 16th. So, So if you get online, you can actually follow through social media, what the Princess Theater has going on. So in your following of that, make sure to watch, for Preston's face to hit the poster board. They're going to be, advertising that, I'm sure, really soon. So if people want to find your music, want to find you, want to follow what you're doing, how do they find you?
Wherever you get your music, first of all, I've got a record out. It's called Distractions from the Truth.
Okay.
And it's everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everywhere.
Okay. Awesome.
Get it. And then for more live stuff, social media. So
okay,
I post, like you said earlier, I post as much as I can, whether it's a cover or just messing around doing anything in this room. And then I'll post my dates as well that I'll be local playing. So
okay, all right. So y'all look for Preston Watts through social media.
It's Preston Watts Music. That's the handle.
Preston Watts Music. Okay. And then don't forget to follow the Princess Theater. Of course, they're bringing in true talent, and they're also bringing in talent from our area, which I always appreciate that they would bring someone from the North Alabama area to play there. That's so cool. So I definitely
they get Shoals musician.
Okay. Yeah. So they actually have a really good location to pull from several different areas because of being right off of I-65. So they can get Nashville folks. I know that I've personally been to a couple of the Marty Stewart releases and concerts, and there's been several folks from Huntsville that have actually got to play there, which is awesome. It's just so cool seeing somebody that you know up on that stage, because it's a big stage. It's really cool.
It's an awesome place. You know?
All right. Well, Preston, we're going to be following you. Preston Watts Music on social media. Definitely check him out, follow him, show him some love, because he's out there doing what he loves and fighting his way through the hardnesses of this music industry that we currently are dealing with. So y'all follow him and give him some support. Thank y'all so much for joining us for the Big Huntsville Podcast. We always bring people like Preston on here who are doing big things, and we love that. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in to the Big Huntsville Podcast. If you've enjoyed the stories, the laughs, and maybe learned a little something new about our amazing city, remember, Huntsville isn't just a place, it's a community. And we've got some of the best folks around. So if you like today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend. And if you got a local hero or story you think we should highlight, hit me up. I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, I'm Carl Thomas, keeping it fun, keeping it real, and always keeping it big here in Huntsville. Catch you later.